Hello, and welcome everyone. Today is 29th of October 2025, and we are starting the live stream. Nasdaq NQ futures trading. We are scalping on this channel, and the series title is 0 to $1 million per year. Using stock market, using NQ trading, NQ scalping as a vehicle. So our goal is to go from an absolute zero to $1 million per year consistently over the next few months, a year, maybe a few years. We'll see. The goal is worth it, definitely. The main challenges, like I said in the introduction video, which you will find in the description of this live stream. So definitely please do watch the introduction video because it will tell you the goal of the session, of the series, the math behind everything, etc. So definitely watch it. The link is in the live stream description. And right now we are 7 minutes. We have 7 minutes to the opening bell, and today is a big day, and this is FOMC day. So looking at the news table, we have FOMC at 2 p.m. New York time. This is going to be a major mover for the markets today. I am actually quite surprised how well the markets have been moving this week. So we'll see what we get today. Now, the last FOMC day was not so good simply because the market was withheld. It was going back and forth. So we'll see what happens after the opening bell today. We'll keep an eye on the levels. Now, the levels, most important levels for today. We are at all-time highs. And the most important price levels for today are London low. This has been taken already. So this was the London low before 5 a.m. And now it's been taken and worked on as well. So nothing really here. We still have the London high intact, so we may want to grab that liquidity. Below that, we have New York session high from yesterday, which is this level. We bounced off it a few times. Here, below that, we have daily opening gap, which is this one. It wasn't a massive gap, 172, about 6 points, not a lot. And we do have the opening range gap, which is below us. So again, just another day we have the massive opening range gap. So I'm going to mark that on my charts. How big is that gap? That's from 157 to 264. So over 100 points. That is definitely a considerable gap. So we will measure this after the opening bell. Just want to make sure that I have the trading journal ready. We have been doing quite well recently with all these wins. There were a few break-even trades, but nothing major. What else? Let me just go through all my tabs. Daily chart. Daily chart looks absolutely crazy. We did not really do anything with this volume imbalance yesterday. We had the sell candle that did not manifest any drop. I still expect we may be moving down. We'll see what the FOMC brings. There is another volume imbalance here. So I want to, I want to have it on my chart. Where is this? It's not that. this screen, which is covered by my laptop. Where is that thing? Daily chart. Okay, that's trading view. So that's going to be this one. Okay, so this volume imbalance here. Let's show it a little bit more accurately. Imbalance daily, this is 29th October. This can still close, keep in mind, because obviously the day is not over. We have a slight wick here. We'll see. Okay, I am keeping an eye on the daily chart. On my other screen. So that's that. Now liquidity. Where is the liquidity in the market right now? So right off the bat, we do have these relative equal highs here. So you may want to grab this liquidity. Liquidity, initial liquidity. Liquidity. This is going to be buy side, minor buy side. Buy side. This is 29. I think this will take maybe on the open or shortly after. We do have these lows, they've been taken by this low. We do have this liquidity here as well. So I'll mark this on my screen, on my chart. This is going to be minor sell side. This level more or less corresponds to, oh, this is the middle. Wow, this gap is huge. So once again, we have the gap and the daily opening gap at the bottom of the gap here. The middle of the gap is here, very important level. This will move a little bit in half a minute. We'll see where we open exactly. We have a bigger liquidity resting here. Okay. Let's see how we work with this liquidity for now. Okay, we have view up here. 20 EMA is here. So let's wait for the opening, but there it is. Do I have live data? Yes, I do. Okay, so that liquidity is gone immediately. We have opened here. So let's measure this gap. Okay, was that a quick liquidity grab? We have taken, well, not really. Measure this gap here to here. So this is the midpoint of the gap. This is sorry, this is the upper quadrant. This is the midpoint. The 0.75 level is the lower quadrant. So I'm going to log this in so I don't move it. I will log this in so I don't move it too. Okay, so that looks like a liquidity grab for now. Okay, midpoint of that candle could be a potential bounce to the downside. Let's see. Midpoint. Okay, we are expecting a midpoint. So let's see if it wants to go lower. Close this gap a little bit. Oh, nice. Okay. Come the side here. What else? Order blocks. What's the structure here? So we were making higher highs. Then a lower high, we broke the structure, definitely. Okay, so we used this order block here. That's already been used. Now we are kind of making higher highs. So we'll see. Let's work this. Okay, my trading chart is ready. If we find a good opportunity, this is tempting to enter here. Let's see. What's the volatility today? I'm open. So the first candle, well, not so great. First candle was 23. The range was 23 points on the 2-minute chart. The 5-minute range, we are still working on that. Okay, so the volatility not so great on open. Probably get even worse. Okay, we are testing this higher order block, and that would be tempting to go into the trade. Look how perfectly low. We might not get the fill here if I wanted to enter off the bottom of this candle. That happens a lot actually recently. It doesn't even touch the... Let me draw this accurately. Something like that. So would we get the fill? Maybe. It just went to one... Is it one tick? Not even one tick, just to the tick. It's not accurate. To the tick bottom of that candle, look at that. Crazy. Okay, and now we are moving lower. If we did get an entry here, did we get 20 points? Not just yet. So let's see what the market gives us. Do we have a first presented fair value gap now? No, we don't yet. Do we have any significant gaps on the 5-minute chart? Yes, we do. Okay, so we made a higher low. This was just kind of break of structure to the downside. It's not super clean. But we have this gap here, and that gap, just mark this on the screen. I want to be really careful, to be honest with you today, simply because it's an FOMC, so the bulk of the move will probably be in the afternoon anyway. Oh, wow. Okay, so it's bouncing up and down right now. No fair value gap. First presented fair value gap on 1 minute. We have this gap, so we are kind of bouncing of it as if we wanted to go to the upside. I'm looking at the 5-minute, if we can see anything of significance. Okay, there is a little bit between those and those lows. We have some liquidity here. I'm going to copy this across my charts. So may want to go there at some point. Still no first fair value gap on the 1 minute chart. What's going on here? This order block is interesting. Hasn't been tested. It's in equilibrium here. Oh, that move from here to there. I'm just looking at the bigger picture here. So we've been moving up. We broke this low on the 5-minute with this move. We moved to this order block, which is great. And now this is indecision. Okay, are we going to bounce off that gap or are we going to move lower? We have VWAP here. Okay, let's switch to the 1-minute chart. This does look like an interesting play to the upside. But we have this massive gap, and as a general rule, they tend to get closed, at least to some degree, like 25. 25 level here would be a nice play. This is this big order block. We have the liquidity here, so that would be potentially a good bounce. Taking those lows. That would be a nice idea for a trade. Okay, so we are currently bouncing off that fair value gap on the 5-minute chart. Let me show you. This is the 5-minute fair value gap. Okay, so we bounced perfectly. Okay, nobody's crossing the middle point of this gap, which is bullish. And now we are working on the move up. What time is it now? 38. Okay, so I guess that first 5 to 10 minutes, I guess that's behind us, and we could start looking for a trade idea. Do we have a trade idea here? We took down these lows. Okay, we moved to this. We haven't closed this gap completely just yet. So broke these lows. Still moving up though. So this is what I'm talking about. FOMC day. We are 9:40 right now New York time. And there is no first gap on the 1 minute just yet. So let's see what happens next. Let's see if the volatility changed a little bit. Around 20 is the average on the 2 minute. Let's see and wait. Okay, see, this was cleaner. Okay, we took down these lows. I mean, this looks to me like it's breaking a structure right now. I mean, the move down would be logical. We have so much stuff below us. We haven't tested the old all-time high just yet. But is it going to act logically? I don't know. If it goes below, oh, okay, that was too fast. I wanted to actually enter the sell here, because that's been bouncing here a lot with all those wicks. Let's see if this is gonna do anything. Looks like it wants to go to the downside now. Okay, so I got a fail right now. We switch to the trade screen. Let's see if this is going to materialize in anything meaningful. My stop is going to be above these highs. If it goes above these highs, I don't want to be in the trade anyway. So let's see. This is not a usual trade, but it's been bouncing up and down here of these levels. So it looks like it actually wants to test a little bit lower. Maybe this order block here. It would be perfect exit to me, but again, a little bit too early to say because the market is literally doing nothing. Maybe I even shouldn't enter this trade, but let's see. Wow. I think let's wait and see. Crazy. This is crazy. So what do we think about this price action? Okay, it starts to move. I have to have my stop loss here. Should be even a little bit higher, to be honest. But I'm not sure if I want to go that high. It's already 30 points. So let's wait and see. Okay, I like this wick. Now we would like to see a major drop to the downside. Taking all these lows would be perfect. Actually, now I have to stick with my goodness. My goodness. Still no gap. That reminds me of the last month's trading action. It did go to its target, but it just took a very scenic route along the way. See, that was a candidate for the first gap. The gap is closed now. Midpoint of that wick. Level to watch for. It is definitely building liquidity here, and I'm being part of it right now, unfortunately. So let's see if it first wants to grab this liquidity or go below these lows. Okay, it's a decently strong candle. Still below upper quadrant of that wick. Wow. It's 950 already, still no gap. That makes me want to exit this trade. Okay, so does that mean we are going to get stopped out? Let's see. Or was this just a reach? to this order block, which by the way would be the perfect entry for my trade. So I think I was a little bit impatient here. So let's see. Okay, stop that. That's unfortunate. Bad decision here. So that was about 30 points, I believe. Let's take a look. Switch to 1 minute. Let me just look at the charts if we are not missing. Yeah. Remember when I said my stop loss should probably be higher? Like at least 5 points here. Wonder if that would save us. Small. Do we have the first gap now? Okay, so that was a short trade. The entry was 67.25. 67.25. Okay, and the stop was 97.75. 97.75. So we got stopped on this candle right at the very top, for now at least. Okay, and my target was this down candle here. At least here 20 points. So yeah. Yeah, I think this trade was a little bit forced, to be honest. First trade lost 30 points, but it is what it is. So let's take a look what is going on right now. Do we have that first gap? No, 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 and no. Still nothing. And it is 9:55 right now. This is the 10 a.m. Maybe we are going to reach for the London high here. If we wick above it, that could be potential entry for short entry. And we do have that as well. This is where are we? Okay. So that's taken. I didn't get the fill. Finally moved. The question is that move going to last? The first presented fair value gap here, and there is another gap which is here. And this is the high that we've taken now. See if we can buy here. Okay, so I bought. Let's see if this trade is going to work out. Seems like it's bullish right now. 10 points. I'm gonna move my stop loss decently quickly here. Okay. It should start moving, hopefully. If it's bullish. Okay, let's break even. I think this is gonna move a little bit, but we are in the 10 a.m. macro right now. It's 286. Yep. Let me switch the screen to 1 minute. Am I right to assume that for this entire time we did not have the first presented fair value gap? Wow. Okay, so that's going to be our first presented fair value gap on the 29th of October. Let's log this in. Let's see what happens now. So this is the first gap. We did have this gap here, kind of bounced of it. So maybe because of that, I should not enter my short here. Like I said, this was a little bit too forced and a little bit too wide stop loss to my liking. So let's see what's gonna happen now. We are dropping. I wonder where this candle is going to close. Okay, so right now it seems to be bullish. But there is nothing above us. Okay, we are closing above that gap. In 1 second, now closed below. Closed below. So now we are targeting this gap. Try entering a quick long of this. Show you. Very tight stop. I want to see if we use this order block as support, but it does not seem like that. I want to give it a little bit of room, but not too much. So tight trade. And let's see if he wants to go higher or lower. Okay, we closed below. So I think this is not going to work out. Yep. So stopped again. Stopped again. Let's see. So this was a long position. Taken off 294. Is that exactly 294? 294. 294 stopped at 282. So that was 12 points. 282. Okay, so let's move back to my 1 minute chart and see what's gonna happen now. So this is bullish. I wonder if we go down as low as this down candle, or See, I use this candle. Now it seems like it's bouncing off this candle here. And because this was in this chop, I'm not convinced that this is going to hold the price here. Although that was the last candle before the breakout to the upside, so might be. I'm going to measure the body. 0.5 is slightly high. Okay, so we almost touched the middle of it. Second trade lost 12. Was it 12 points? 12 points. I'll give myself one more chance to make a winning trade. And then I'll make a decision whether to do something else or not. No break of structure to the downside. I'll try one more long here of that order block here that I should do originally. See what happens. We have the top of the opening range gap, we have the VWAP here. It's 10-10 though, almost. Nine points. Screen this one. Can I get a little bit more, or are we going to use this order block to bounce off and go to the downside? That should definitely start moving now. So if it doesn't, then we need to close this trade, because this is dangerous territory. We have the fair value gap at 296, so that should be my exit. Let's see if this is going to materialize. No break of structure just yet, so that's why I'm sticking with this trade. But it seems like we are going to end up break even. Yeah. So that's break even again. And now we may actually see break of structure. Let's see. This is definitely going to be a challenging day. Okay, move down, stop me out. Top of the gap, view up, bodies. I am tempted to actually enter one more time. Let's see if this helps me with tight stop loss below this candle. And I am watching what's going on this chart as well. And value gap. And we have created another fair value gap here, which worries me a bit. Okay, that should definitely start moving. 6. Mm, 13. Okay, that's going to be break even if we drop. But hopefully we hit my target here. That target is the bottom of the fair value gap on the 1 minute. My goodness. Break even. That is the third trade that is break even. That's how. So now it looks it wants to go to the downside, but that's only one bounce over that gap. This became an inverted fair value gap. We are after 10. We have not broken the structure just yet. So now it starts to be worth to actually take a short to the downside. One gap, second gap, this gap is on top of the fair value gap. Nobody's penetrating above, at least for now. We had a similar trade yesterday where we initially moved in one direction and then we were bouncing off the first presented fair value gap after 10 a.m. So I wonder if that could be potentially a similar trade idea, just with the FOMC. I am not sure. Still generally closing bodies above this midpoint of this order block here. Should I take another try here to the upside? There's some major liquidity as well. Liquidity. Sell side. October. But that's going to be lower. So I already have it on my chart. Here. Okay, that's showing on the 15-minute chart. Let's observe what's going on here. So 10:30 is going to be our initial balance set. I'm looking at this first trade I took. You could say it was a valid trade, but after the break to the upside, I should have entered somewhere in this vicinity, not waiting here. That's 261, 254. It's hard to say if I would have put a stop loss enough distance from these candles to not get stopped on this wick. Hard to say in hindsight. And then we move down. Where is the gap second gap? That looks like the trade yesterday. I think it was yesterday. But we did not have the break of structure just yet here. Just bouncing here. 1024. I am thinking so I have a feeling we will actually move to the upside a little bit, bounce off this gap. So maybe build up the position here. I don't like the fact that I do not have visible break of structure. My area of interest for entry will be this line as well. Not a lot to say today. Not a lot. And just looking at this first trade here, yeah, my entry should be somewhere in this vicinity, which would have given us $20. And then after that, yeah, 20 points would be perfect exit here. And then if I wanted to, because we closed lower, I could have entered another trade of this wick here, stop loss here. And I would have to exit somewhere in the middle of this down candle, so somewhere here. And that would be a winning trade as well. Okay. So my fault, I broke my own rules here. Should be entering on order blocks. Really same thing here. Same thing here, because I took this order block. That's the point of entry. While in reality, I should use this one, because that was the last down candle before we broke the upside. So I should be taking entries of that candle. And that would be my first entry here. Stop would be tricky here, because normally I would put it below this candle, but we have this candle here, and also this candle here, and this candle here, and then we have this massive candle here. So theoretically, my stop should be here, which would still be better than this first trade I took. But at least, yeah, at least probably here. That would be risky. Okay, so again, those trades should not be valid. It's 10:30, our initial balance is set now. And we have moved since the open of the session by a whopping 70 points. Wow. And we are doing, it's hard to say what we are doing here. So we are not crossing this order block line. This is the midpoint of this block. So that's bullish. And we have created this gap and this gap. And we are not, oh, now we are working this gap. Okay, so we started working this gap. My initial idea was, if we have that gap here, but we don't have the break of structure just yet. If this went lower and then moved back, okay, say this went below those candles here, so to this order block, and then moved back, that would be my perfect entry, moved back and then accumulated here, then I would say that's a perfect entry. Now, not a lot really here. I could take the risk and enter off of the low of this gap. I mean, the entire structure is still bullish. If I do, then I would have to put my stop loss quite high. However, I am thinking that's what I did yesterday. If we go below this low, we already bounced off this, and we may be actually going lower. Let's see if this is going to materialize or not.